Good afternoon. This is Pam with Follow Your Brush. Thank you for popping in and seeing what I'm up to. I am playing. That's what I'm doing. I'm just playing. I'm playing with some 300-pound paper that I purchased, cold press. I love working with 300-pound. As you can see, it's really thick. I guess you can see that compared to 140-pound. And this was a larger sheet that I was playing with, and I did some, as you can see, I did some flowers. Wasn't crazy about it, so I tore it into pieces. Not out of anger, but just experimenting. And what I'm doing today, and I just started throwing paint on my paper, and then the 300-pound absorbs and dries and stays workable, let me put it that way, for a while, because it is so thick that you have time to kind of play around. I'm playing with my egg yellow paints today, my handmade paints from Assisi, Italy. And you can see the, as I come back in, you can tell the paper still has some moisture in it because it's still workable. I heard I saw a tutor one time that said if your paint is wet, it's still alive. I thought that was a good observation and something to remember, actually. If it's wet, it's still alive. You can still work with it and do stuff. And with my 300-pound paper, I'm just having fun here, just playing. I did not intend to make a forest scene. In this one, it turned out to be kind of like Southwest in the desert somewhere. I didn't intend for that any more than I intended this one to go take me to the Pacific Northwest. But that's kind of the fun of playing, because you just don't know where you're going to go. And if you listen to or talk to, just like I do, my paints and paper as it's working and drying, takes you interesting places. I'm actually loving this. This is just a blue with drops of yellow. And the yellow is giving me a beautiful texture, almost as if it's branches of a tree. Look at that. I just really like that. So the 300-pound paper lends itself to this type of experimentation, and it's really fun. Sometimes I just like to play and see what my paper's going to do or my paints are going to do. When I started with watercolor, it didn't take me long to discover that watercolor basically has a mind of its own, and that's probably one reason a lot of people don't care to paint with watercolor, is because it does have a mind of its own, and you kind of have to learn to respond to what it's telling you. In this one, I just started with a light blue sky, and then I just did some colors in here. And soon as I watched it to see what it was doing, I kind of saw mountains and some trees, but not the brilliant greens and blues like I have in this one. It's more of a Southwest Arizona type scene. I didn't plan to go there, it just showed up. And this one, I love what this is doing as well. With the 300-pound paper being so accommodating, I can just even come back in here with the water and let it flow and see what it wants to do. Maybe we have a creek here, a little riverbed. Can encourage that. Let's turn it sideways here for a minute and just let it kind of run and see what it wants to do. So I was just curious. Oh, look at that. Look what that just did. It looks like I have a waterfall, perhaps coming from the trees in here. Let's encourage that. See what that wants to do. where it wants to go. That's kind of pretty. If I try to tell it what I want it to do, it's probably not going to cooperate. It's just how it works with me. If I start to think about something, I've got a really pretty teal color. What I was using was my A Gallo paints from Assisi, Italy. They're handmade. I'm using the transparent cerulean blue and then some lemon yellow, and that's it. And other than that, I'm just letting it do what it wants to do and blend and with the water kind of come in and do its own thing. And it's just given me some beautiful effects. The 300-pound paper allows it to move and dry slowly, and it gives you time just to kind of play. And I really enjoy that. This is kind of water coming up from in here, I guess. I don't know. But I like that. You turn it on its side again and let it kind of come down this way. But I just wanted to pop in and say hello and show you what I'm doing. I don't always plan ahead. Spontaneous painting to me is really fun, just to see what it wants to do as it dries. And often it has a mind of its own. And by letting the water just play and dance and the pigment, it gets some beautiful results. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you see it. Look at that. Look how it just kind of flows on its own. I like that. Turn it around, let it go this way a little bit too. So that's what I'm up to today. And I hope you're having a great day as you play and explore with your watercolor and see where it takes you today. Mine has taken me a couple places. First, it took me to the Southwest, Arizona, it looks like. And then now this one is kind of a beautiful, cool, colored walk in the woods is the way I would describe this. To me, this is just a beautiful, relaxing, almost comforting scene of blues and greens and yellows. Look how that's blending and is so beautiful. That's why I love watercolor. I love to see what it's going to do and talk to it, as it were, and let it dry and see what happens. Hope you're having a great day. Have a safe weekend with the 4th of July. And thanks for watching and subscribing and following my brush as it takes me on all kind of adventures here around the United States, obviously. It's summertime. Let's go on vacation. Spontaneous painting. Thanks. Bye.